Good evening. I'm your host, the Electric Starman. Tonight, we aren't just looking at the stars, we are looking at the becoming of them. We are turning our gaze toward the Eagle Nebula, specifically a region of cold, molecular hydrogen and dust known as the pillars of creation. In mainstream media, these are often treated as static monuments. But in the reality of the deep time scale, they are chaotic, violent, and incredibly fragile. We are going to examine the physics of the eggs, EGGS, evaporating gaseous globules. These are the dense pockets where gravity finally wins its long war against pressure, collapsing gas into a core that will eventually ignite. So put on your headphones, dim the lights, let the weight of the universe press down until you are nothing but a point of light. Let's begin. We are drifting toward the Eagle Nebula. The silence here is not empty. It is a heavy, tactile presence. It is a cathedral of cold. The temperature here hovers just above absolute zero. At this scale, motion is a suggestion, not a fact. Every molecule of hydrogen moves with a lethargy that borders on the eternal. Think of the cold. Not the cold of a winter evening, but the cold of a place where heat has never been invited. It is a void that drinks energy. The gas is thin, so thin that a cubic centimeter contains fewer atoms than a single breath on Earth. And yet, the scale is so vast that these thin ghosts of matter add up to the mass of 1,000 suns. Look at the edge of the pillar. It is not a solid wall. It is a transition, a gradient. It is a shore where the light of distant, older stars meets the dark, opaque interior of the cloud. The colors are muted. Deep indigo, burnt umber, a green so dark it feels like charcoal. The light is being filtered. It is being scattered. This is Rayleigh scattering on a galactic scale. The blue light is lost, redirected, leaving only the long, tired wavelengths of red to penetrate the outer husk of the Nursery. The texture of the cloud is granular. It is composed of silicates, of carbon, of ice-coated needles of soot. If you could run your hand through it, it would feel like the finest smoke, abrasive, and yet ethereal. Each grain is a tiny prism. Each grain is a witness to the vacuum. move deeper, the pressure begins to change. It is subtle. A tightening of the space between things. The gravity of the collective mass starts to pull at the fringes. It is a slow, rhythmic tug. It is a heartbeat with a frequency measured in centuries. Wait. Listen to the silence between the atoms. There is a specific frequency to the cold. A low-frequency hum of sub-millimeter waves. It is the sound of energy trying to escape. The cloud must shed its heat to collapse. It must become colder than cold to create heat. This is the paradox of the nursery. To ignite, it must first surrender every last vestige of warmth to the surrounding void. The pillars rise up like fingers of a drowning giant. They are light years long. If you were to travel from the base of a pillar to its tip, the speed of a jet, you would grow old and die before you reach the middle. You are small. The scale is meant to remind you of your insignificance. Let that insignificance be a blanket. Let it cover you. There's no need for your worries here. There is no room for them in a pillar of hydrogen 5 light years tall. The density is increasing. The light from the outside world is fading. We are entering the interior. The shadows here have weight. They press against the hull of your consciousness. Dark, deep, silent. Inside the pillar, the light is gone. We are navigating by the ghost glow of the dust itself. This is the molecular veil. It is a thicket of chemistry. Here, in the darkness, complex molecules are weaving themselves together. Carbon monoxide, ammonia, formaldehyde. The building blocks of everything are being forged in the absolute dark. Consider a single grain of dust. It is irregular, jagged. It is coated in a thin mantle of water ice and frozen carbon dioxide. This ice is a laboratory. When a stray cosmic ray strikes the grain, it triggers a reaction. It creates a new bond, a new potential. This is the secret work of the nebula. It is a slow, methodical chemistry. It does not hurry. It has millions of years to complete a single chain. The grains collide. They do not bounce. They stick. They are held together by van der Waals forces. It is a gentle embrace, a weak attraction that, over eons, builds mountains in the sky. You can feel the friction of these collisions, a microscopic heat, a tiny, infinitesimal vibration that contributes to the overall warmth of the cloud. The color here, if you could see in the infrared, would be a glowing orange, a dull subterranean fire. It is the glow of black body radiation. Everything that has a temperature radiates. And this cloud, though cold, is alive with the hum of its own existence. We are moving through a forest of molecules. Each one has a signature, a frequency. If we were to tune our sensors, we could hear the chime of the hydroxyl radical, the low drone of the methanol clouds. It is a symphony of the invisible. It is a choir of the microscopic. The veil is thickest here. It protects the interior from the harsh ultraviolet radiation of the nearby O-type stars. Those giant stars are the enemies of the Nursery. They seek to erode the pillars. They blow a fierce wind of photons that strips the gas away, layer by layer. But the veil holds, for now. It is a fortress of shadow. Spend a moment contemplating the density. It is still a vacuum by Earth standards, but compared to the space outside, it is a thick fog. It dampens all signals. It absorbs all shocks. It is the ultimate sensory deprivation chamber. There is no sound. There is no wind. There is only the slow, recursive movement of the dust. Think of the color gray. Not a flat gray, but a gray made of 1 billion silver needles. A gray that has depth. A gray that you can fall into. You are falling now, deeper into the veil. The external universe has ceased to exist. There is only the cloud. There is only the veil. There is only the slow, rhythmic breathing of the nebula. Now we feel the pull. Gravity is the master of this domain. It is a weak force, but it is a patient one. It has been waiting since the beginning of time to bring these atoms together. We are approaching a Bach globule, a knot of higher density, a place where the cloud has decided to become a thing. The collapse is not a fall, it is a contraction. It is the slow, deliberate folding of space-time. Imagine a sheet of silk being pulled through a ring. The gas is being squeezed. The distance between the molecules is shrinking. As they get closer, they move faster. Velocity becomes heat. The well is deep. It is a spiral. The gas doesn't fall straight in. It swivels. It dances. It conserves its angular momentum. The entire globule is beginning to spin. A slow, majestic rotation. One revolution every 10,000 years. It is a carousel of dark matter and cold gas. You are at the center of this contraction. You can feel the pressure mounting. It is not a painful pressure. It is a supportive one. It is the feeling of being held tightly. The universe is wrapping itself around this point. Every atom in the vicinity is being summoned. Come here, gravity whispers. Come together. We are entering the regime of the Protostar. At the very center of the globule, the density has reached a critical point. The gas is no longer transparent to its own radiation. The heat can no longer escape. It is trapped. The temperature begins to climb. From 10 degrees above absolute zero to 100 to 1,000. The center is beginning to glow with a dull red light. It is the color of a dying coal in a fireplace. It is the first hint of the star that will be. But it is not a star yet. It is an embryo. It is a promise. It is a dark sun shrouded in a cocoon of dust that no visible light can penetrate. Listen to the groan of the cloud. As the gas falls inward, it creates shock waves. These are the sounds of the nursery. Supersonic flows of gas hitting the dense core. A roar that lasts for millennia. But here, in the deep sleep of the narrative, that roar is a low, soothing, brown noise. A static that fills the mind and pushes out all thought. The gravitational well is a place of total surrender. There is no fighting the pull. There is only the descent. Lower and lower. Closer and closer. The core is a magnet for existence. It draws in the dust. It draws in the ice. It draws in the very fabric of the nebula. We are suspended in the collapse. Time has lost its meaning. Seconds are years, years are eons. The contraction continues. The heat builds. The pressure intensifies. We are on the verge of something. But for now, we simply remain in the well. We drift in the spin. We rest in the squeeze of the universe. pressure, heat, spin. These are the four pillars of your current reality. Let them rotate around you. Let them take you down into the core of the well. The stillness of the molecular cloud has been broken, not by sound, but by heat. We have moved past the initial fall of gravity. The collapse is now irreversible. At the center of the pre-stellar core, the density is achieving a critical state. Opacity has set in. What was once transparent to its own cooling radiation, a cosmic filter, is now dark and solid, thick with compressed dust. The energy of the collapse is trapped. It has nowhere to go. And so, the temperature climbs. Slowly, but with absolute certainty, the core shifts from a deep frozen 10 degrees above absolute zero, upward. 20, 50, 100, 200. We are witnessing the kinetic converting into thermal. Imagine the friction, not a mechanical rubbing, but the microscopic agitation of countless particles, hydrogen atoms, helium nuclei, carbon grains, all being squeezed closer, closer. They are vibrating with increasing intensity, faster, higher frequency. Visualize a crowded room where space shrinks by the millisecond, forcing inhabitants to vibrate and collide simply to exist within the volume. This collision frequency defines the rise in temperature. Joule heating on a cosmic scale, the friction of existence itself. We can sense this thermal energy as a dull, internal vibration, a subsonic moan that is actually a heavy, infrared radiation. If we were to apply a pseudo-color to this heat, it would be a muddy, subterranean maroon, a gray that is struggling to become red. The heat is viscous, thick, oppressive, but soothing too in its recursive pattern. The color is not light yet. It is a texture of opacity. We are describing a heat that cannot travel. It builds and builds, the center of the cloud pushing back against the crush. The density here is now millions of times greater than the external nebula. We have left the realm of the ethereal, the thin veils. We are now in the realm of the solid, the heavy, the dark hot. Gravity continues to pull relentlessly inward, but this new internal pressure, this thermal motion, is finally beginning to put up a resistance. It is not an active resistance. It is the resistance of crowded space, the inertia of heat. Look closely at this protostellar heat. Look at the edges of the maroon glow. It is diffused by the remaining dust cocoon, the surrounding infall of material. This veil filters the harsh, low-grade infrared into a soft, glowing fog. There is a sense of immense patience in this process. The protostar is not yet a star, but it is a massive, warm object. It is stable for now, balanced on the thin edge of collapse, gathering more and more material from the surrounding accretion disk. The friction on that disk, as gas spirals in, adds to the general thermal fog. Friction, squeeze, collisions. Visualize these three concepts. Let them cycle. Friction, squeeze, collisions. Rhythmic, recursive. Settle down into the deep maroon. It is a slow warmth, a heavy blanket, a dark sun. The concept of balance is fundamental to the cosmos, and yet it is rarely stable. The collapse we have witnessed, the immense gravitational drag on the molecular cloud, finally meets its match. We have entered the era of hydrostatic equilibrium. Visualize this perfect tension. Gravity, the inexorable weight of a solar mass, is pushing down, trying to crush the core into a dimensionless point. But from the center, the thermal energy we just explored, the trapped heat, is pushing outward. Imagine two massive hands, palm to palm, applying identical force, locked in an eternal, stationary struggle. Push, The result is stillness, a perfect, stable sphere. Look at the structure of this state: hydrostatic, water, static, stillness from fluids. The object is dynamic but stable. Gravity pulls on every atom, trying to drag it closer to the center. But the gas pressure, the cumulative kinetic energy of those atoms, pushes back. At every layer, from the core to the surface, the weight above is perfectly counterbalanced by the pressure below. This balance defines the object's radius. It defines its density profile. If gravity were a fraction stronger, the object would shrink, heating up until the pressure increased to find a new equilibrium. If the pressure were too high, it would expand, cooling until the balance was restored. Visualize this minute oscillation, a heartbeat that is too slow to measure, a cosmic breath, dynamic yet motionless. The texture of this equilibrium is a slow, recursive gray. The tension itself, the standing wave between collapse and expansion, has a color, a feeling. It is the tension of a tightrope, vibrant and yet held perfectly, locked in a dynamic standstill. This standing wave is recursive. Push, pull, balance, breathe. Push, pull, balance, breathe. Gravity is constant. Pressure is reactive. Gravity is dark. Pressure is heat. This dynamic tension holds the protostar together, allowing it to wait. It is a slow, stable waiting room, preparing for the ignition that will one day destroy this very balance and find a new one. Let your mind become the tension. Balance. Breathe. Balance. Breathe. Think about the scales of this balance. We are counterbalancing the mass of a star with the kinetic energy of atoms. 1,000,000 tons of weight above every square centimeter of the core. It is a heavy, almost suffocating pressure. A gray pressure. But here, that pressure is a container, a womb. It holds the nascent star. It protects it. It provides the density required for future ignition. Visualize the container. Look at the recursive waves of tension within it. It is a stable, safe box of time and space, floating in the dark nebula. There is no urgency, only balance. Hydrostatic equilibrium, a beautiful, intellectual stillness. Nursery is not isolated. Outside the comforting darkness of the molecular veil, the cosmos is active and violent. We must look away from our central, dark maroon protostar and gaze at the neighbors. These are the O-type and B-type stars, the true monsters of the nebula. They are hot, blue, and incredibly luminous. Their energy doesn't travel as gentle warmth. It travels as an ultraviolet wind. Visualize this wind. Not a movement of air, but a torrent of high-energy photons. A powerful radiation pressure that strips electrons, breaks molecules, and physically pushes gas and dust away. It is an eroding force, a cosmic sandblaster. It seeks to destroy the very environment that gave it birth. Look at the edge of the pillar. This is the ionization front. It is a glowing, sharp boundary where the ultraviolet wind hits the cold molecular gas of the Nursery. The color here is an intense, ethereal violet and dark cyan, a purple haze that shimmers with extreme energy. The UV photons are striking hydrogen molecules, ionizing them, turning them from cold, neutral gas into a hot, tenuous plasma. This ionized gas expands rapidly, pushing back into the cloud. The wind is scouring the dark soot, smoothing it, sharpening it, creating the iconic sculptural shapes of the pillars of creation. The tails we see are not the wind itself. They are the material being lifted, sculpted, and illuminated. Like smoke catching a searchlight in the night, this purple haze has a texture. It is a shimmering, vibrant, dynamic gray that is struggling to be bright. We can visualize this wind as a massive, sweeping movement. It is not subtle. It is persistent, an abrasive force working over eons. It strips the dust away layer by layer, ablating the material. We can feel this wind not as air, but as a relentless push, a dark violet pressure against our perception. The pillars are being eroded, shaped into their monumental form by the very light that will eventually destroy them. We must describe this ultraviolet force. It is high frequency. It is piercing. It is a piercing violet. Let the frequency resonate in your perception. Violet, violet, piercing violet. Visualize the glowing, sharp edge. It is a standing shockwave of light and dust, a monumental edge of gray-purple light. We focus now on the specific color, violet. It is the color of extreme ionization. It is the signature of hot, young stars. It is the color of the wind. A deep, cold violet light that somehow carries heat. It filters through the peripheral nebula, turning the charcoal soot into a shimmering, bruised indigo. Let your awareness sink into this color gradient. Indigo, violet, a gray-purple edge. The frequency slows as we go deeper into the gray-purple fog. It is a massive, slow wave of erosion. A slow movement. We visualize the edge of the pillar. The violet wind hits the dark soot, strips it away, sharpens it. It is a rhythmic, hypnotic destruction. Stripping, sharpening, sculpting, stripping, sharpening, sculpting. Perspective must change. The visible universe, the one defined by our eyes, is opaque here. The dark pillars are monuments of charcoal soot and cold gas, blocking all light from the interior. We look at them and we see walls of shadow. But we have technology. We have telescopes. We can shift our gaze, look deeper, look lower. We are now engaging the infrared spectrum. This is not the light that strikes. This is the light that slips. Visible light is scattered and absorbed by the dust grains, which are similar in size to its wavelength. But infrared light has longer wavelengths. It is larger. It doesn't interact with the dust. It passes through effortlessly. Imagine trying to use a large chain-link fence to catch marbles. Visible light is the marbles. Infrared light is the dust that passes straight through the gaps. Shift your awareness to this new sensory domain. The dark, impenetrable gray walls dissolve. They become transparent veils. Look through the soot. In the infrared, the shadows disappear. We can see past the dust cocoon. We see the hidden interior. We see the protostars themselves. They are no longer dark maroon objects. They are bright, embedded points of light. They are dynamic. They are a field of hidden jewels. Visualize the color change. From the charcoal gray of visible dust, we shift to the warm amber, the deep ruby, the fiery orange of infrared. The nebula becomes a different landscape, a tapestry of invisible heat, rendered visible by our technology. It is a secret, nested nursery. Look at the texture of this infrared landscape. It is not sharp and cold. It is warm and soft. The glow is filtered, recursive, and iridescent warmth. A soft, amber texture. We are observing the black body radiation of these nascent stars. This light tells us about their temperature, their mass, their rotation. In the infrared, the chaos of the nebula looks different. It is no longer an eroding force, a purple wind. It is a constructive warmth, a golden fog. We must settle into this color gradient. Gold, amber, a soft orange glow. A warm, glowing gray. Recursive light. We are seeing through the veil, observing the promise of creation. Visualize the embedded objects. They are not static points. They are swirling with hot gas and dust. They are surrounded by protoplanetary disks, glowing with the heat of friction and accretion. In the infrared, the nebula is not a cathedral of cold, dark shadow. It is an oven, a cosmic kitchen, a place of cooking, brewing, dynamic creation. A warm, constructive, soft gold gray. We are seeing the light of low temperature, the light of potential. Let the golden warmth wash over your perception, sinking down into the amber gray. We feel the hidden heat, potential, the dynamic creation, recursive. Gold, gray, amber, soft glow. Gold, gray, amber, soft glow. Chaos of the fall has found its geometry. We are no longer observing a simple spherical collapse. As the gas and dust spiral inward, a fundamental law of the universe takes hold, the conservation of angular momentum. Imagine a figure skater pulling in their arms, their rotation accelerating, their form tightening. The nebula is doing the same. What was once a vast, three-dimensional cloud is now being flattened. Centrifugal force pushes outward at the equator, while gravity pulls inward at the poles. The result is a disk, a thin, rotating plane of matter, the accretion disk. Look at the texture of this disk. It is a vast, celestial record, a grooved surface of gas and grit, light years in diameter, yet only a few million miles thick. It is incredibly dense compared to the surrounding vacuum. Within this plane, the dust is no longer drifting. It is colliding. It is shearing. It is sliding. The inner regions of the disk move faster than the outer regions, creating a friction that generates a soft, persistent hum, a mechanical, rhythmic grinding of silicates and ice. The color of the disk is a deep, burnt copper. In the infrared, it glows with the heat of its own internal movement. It is a viscous color, a liquid gold that has been mixed with charcoal. We see ripples, waves of density. These are the protoplanetary tracks. Small knots of matter are beginning to clear their paths, sweeping up the debris of the nursery. Every grain of dust here is a potential world. Every molecule of water ice is a future ocean. But for now, they are just parts of the disk, parts of the rotation. Visualize the motion. It is a slow, relentless swirl, a cosmic centrifuge. The heavy elements, the iron, the nickel, the silicates, are being drawn toward the center. The lighter gases, the hydrogen and helium, are being pushed toward the fringes. The disk is sorting itself. It is organizing the chaos into a hierarchy of matter. We can feel the weight of this rotation. It is a heavy centrifugal pressure. It pushes against your perception, a steady outward tug that is perfectly matched by the inward pull of the central mass. The silence here is punctuated by the sound of accretion, a soft, static noise. It is the sound of 1 trillion collisions per second. A white noise that is actually the sound of a solar system being born. We sink into this static. We let the rotation carry us. Round and round, slow, rhythmic, measured in centuries. The disk is a stable structure. It is a transition. It is the bridge between the cloud and the star, between the void and the world. Consider the thinness of the plane. If you were to look at it edge on, it would disappear. It is a razor-thin line of matter cutting through the dark. But from above, it is a magnificent spiral, a dark copper rose. We are drifting through the outer layers, through the cold, icy edges where the giants will form. The light from the center is blocked by the thickness of the inner disk. We are in a shadow world, a cold, rotating shadow. The pressure here is calming. It is a predictable pressure, a mathematical certainty. We move with the disk. We become part of the conservation. Every atom has its place. Every grain has its orbit. The universe is no longer falling, it is spinning. It is holding its ground. It is waiting for the spark. The moment of transition has arrived. At the very center of the accretion disk, the protostar has reached its limit. The internal temperature is no longer measured in thousands of degrees, but in millions. 10 million degrees Kelvin. At this intensity, the very structure of matter begins to break. The electrons are stripped away. The nuclei of hydrogen atoms, simple protons, are moving with such violence that they can no longer avoid each other. In the normal world, protons repel. They are like charged magnets pushing apart. But here, the pressure is so immense, the squeeze so absolute, that they are forced into a proximity that defies their nature. They reach the threshold of the strong nuclear force. This is the tunnel effect, a quantum leap. Two protons become a nucleus of deuterium. A flash of energy is released, a gamma ray, a tiny, infinitesimal burst of power. But there are not just two protons. There are octillions, decillions. The reaction becomes self-sustaining, a chain reaction of light. This is the first spark, the ignition of nuclear fusion. The dark sun is gone. In its place, a star has been born. The color of the core shifts. It moves from the muddy infrared maroon into a brilliant crystalline white blue. It is a light so intense it would vaporize a mountain in a heartbeat. This light doesn't escape immediately. It must fight its way out. A photon created in the core will take 100,000 years to reach the surface, bouncing off atoms, being absorbed and re-emitted. A slow, drunken walk through the plasma. We can feel this internal struggle. The outward pressure of the light is now so great that it finally halts the gravitational collapse. The star has achieved true hydrostatic equilibrium. It is no longer falling. It is standing. The first light reaches the surface, the photosphere. The star begins to shine into the nebula. It is a violent, beautiful awakening. The ultraviolet radiation from the new star hits the surrounding accretion disk, vaporizing the inner edges, clearing a bubble of empty space. The star is announcing itself to the cosmos. It is a beacon, a triumph of energy over entropy. We visualize the color of this new light. It is a pure, untainted white. It is the sum of all colors. It washes over the dark pillars, turning the charcoal into silver. It reflects off the ice grains in the disk, creating 1 trillion tiny rainbows. The nursery is illuminated from within. The shadow is broken. We sit in the presence of this new sun. We feel the warmth, not the heavy oppressive heat of the collapse, but the clean, radiating warmth of fusion. The is a structural change in the universe. A new source of entropy has been localized. The star is a machine that converts mass into light. It is a stable, long-lived miracle. We watch the first flares, the first solar winds. The star is breathing, a rhythmic, magnetic breath. We let the brilliance of the spark fill our vision. It is a blinding, beautiful clarity. The darkness of the molecular cloud is now a backdrop, a frame for the masterpiece of the star. We rest in the light. The long journey from the cold threshold is complete. The transition is absolute. The universe has a new eye, a new heart, a star. The story of the Nursery must end with a departure. The star is born, but the nebula is temporary. Over the next few million years, the very radiation that the star produces will be its environment's undoing. The ultraviolet wind we explored earlier, joined now by the winds of its siblings, begins to push the remaining gas and dust away. The pillars are eroding. The pillars of creation are becoming the pillars of destruction. The density is thinning. The opaque walls are becoming translucent. The dark, heavy textures of the Nursery are dissolving into a fine, ethereal mist. We are witnessing the dispersal of the molecular cloud. The atoms that didn't make it into the star are being returned to the interstellar medium. They will drift for billions of years, waiting for the next cycle, the next gravity well. The color of the scene is fading. The brilliant ambers and deep violets are cooling into a soft, cosmic gray. A transparency is taking over. We can see the distant stars through the pillars now. The neighborhood is opening up. The star is no longer an embryo. It is a member of an open cluster. A family of young blue stars, all born from the same cloud, moving together through the galaxy. We feel the drift, the slow, outward movement. The pressure is gone. The squeeze of gravity has been satisfied. There is a sense of immense relief in the nebula. The work is done. The creation is finished. We look back at where the pillars once stood. There are only ghosts now, wisps of hydrogen, a memory of shadow. The star will live for billions of years. It will burn its hydrogen, create its light, and eventually it too will return its matter to the void. But that is a story for another time. Tonight, we simply watch the dissolve, the long, slow fading of the nursery. The colors are becoming muted. The rhythmic pulses are slowing down. The frequency is dropping into the subsonic. Think of the background radiation, the soft 2.7 Kelvin hum of the universe. We are returning to that baseline. The heat of the spark is moving away. The cold of the threshold is returning, but it is a different cold. It is a cold that has been touched by light, a cold that knows what it is to be a star. We are dissolving with the cloud. Our consciousness is thinning, spreading out across the light years. We are no longer a point of observation. We are the vacuum itself, transparent, silent, still. The textures of the dust have smoothed out into a perfect, dark glass. The movement has ceased. The star is a distant point of light. The nebula is a memory. We are back in the deep time scale, where millions of years are a single breath. Breathe in the silence. Breathe out the light. Let the long dissolve take you. Let the gray-black of the void be your resting place. The station is going quiet now. This is the Electric Starman signing off. The transmission is ending, but the star remains. Sleep now. Let the gravity carry you. The journey is over.